Good pass complete for number 30.
Down the list of games for tonight as Jamie keeps an eye on the outcome of the coin toss. Marion and Patrick Henry already underway, and Coach Palmer's got those Rebels up there playing really well at Patrick Henry. They're ahead in that game 7-0.
That'll probably be a pretty good game.
That game in the first quarter. John Battle and Ridgeview. George Wythe facing off against Chilhowie at Chilhowie. Abingdon and Virginia High tonight. That's over at the Bearcats in Virginia High in Bristol. Castlewood and Lebanon, obviously, the game of the week. We've got Holston at Northwood. Hurley stays put. Honaker travels to Hurley. That's a tough trip for the Tigers. Hurley, a really good team this year, so good luck to our other Russell County schools. We've also got Twin Valley at Tom Walker. Wise Central and Union, a game to watch for, and Richlands at Grundy. Twin Springs and Eastside underway in the first quarter with no score in that one. So plenty of games for Mike Lowe to update you on at halftime and after the game as well.
Okay, the Pioneers won the toss, and they elected to receive. We'll be back with the opening kickoff here from Tommy Bryant Stadium. You're listening to high school football on WXLZ.
Pioneers await the arrival of the Blue Devils onto the field, and we're going to see the Pioneers come onto the field here in just a moment through their tunnel to our left here in the press box. They break through the tunnel, through the paper, and the Blue Devils will come out next. Pioneers on the field in their red uniforms and white numerals, and Castlewood out here in their white uniforms with blue numbers.
Both teams on the field now. We'll have a kickoff just shortly, and only a little bit past 7:30. Would like to alert our listening audience, though, that we will have an extended halftime tonight as they present the homecoming court, which, is tradition. I also talking to Joey Long, the principal here at Lebanon High School, and I'm going to holler out at his mother, Frances. I know she's probably listening, and hope you're doing well, Frances.
Also not sure if Lloyd's got us tuned in or maybe the Grundy game, but our good friend Lloyd Combs from WMJD is still recovering, and we're hoping that he's able to make it back out on the broadcast.
Yeah, Lloyd, well-known sportscaster and also sports writer, both at the Grundy paper and the Herald Courier. He also writes some for the Telegraph. He suffered a right severe stroke, Matt, and Lloyd, if you're listening there, last I heard you were in rehab, and keep fighting it and get back to where you were.
It's a long road to recovery, but he's got it, and we hope to see Lloyd back over here in the press box, and we see him throughout the sports season, whether that be football season, basketball season, or baseball, and really does it all. It kind of amazes me how he does the broadcasts and the newspaper writing at the same time. So good luck with your rehab, Lloyd.
Walker Dillon back deep for the Pioneers.
So Dillon is back deep, and the Blue Devils will kick it off, and Wood tees it up, and he hits a short kick to number 6. That's
Cole Stutes.
Cole Stutes. Stutes with good speed over to the right side, but not much room to work with as a host of Blue Devils bring him down right there, and that's where we'll start things.
Looks like on about the 33-yard line for Castlewood.
33-yard line for the Blue Devils as they take over to start things. First offensive possession of the evening for either team. Once again, thank you for watching our broadcast on ARC or listening to us online at WXLZ.net as well as the radio station 107.3. Pioneers onto the field.
They line up in a power I with one wide receiver.
Stutes right up there and nearly fumbled the exchange there with his running back straight forward with the handoff for not much of a game. Bow back to the line of scrimmage, I would say, as number 62 there on the tackle for, or 62, I guess it was, for the Blue Devils.
That was Walker Dillon on the carry, and he picked up 3 yards. It's 2nd down and 7 for the Pioneers.
Dillon will be the workhorse tonight for the Pioneers, as you probably already know. He will accumulate a ton of yards by the halftime break. They pitch it out to him this time. He's looking for the outside. Now back up inside, and he's brought down right there after a gain of about 5.
Gets up close to the 40-yard line. He'll be just shy of it. That time, it's kind of interesting. They set up in the power I, and the Pioneers were unbalanced to the right there. They had a strong side to the right. and that's where Dillon ran. He picked up about 3 yards. We'll call it third and about 4.
3rd and 4 for the Pioneers, as they more than likely will stay with the ground game. They don't go to the air much. They do have one wide out to the far side. Power out formation. They're going to pitch it out to the left this time. Exact same play, only to the left, and Dillon's looking for space. He's not going to get to the marker, and he's down at the 40, so just about a yard, I guess, for Dillon.
Good coverage that time. Dillon came back to the weak side and didn't pick up much, so it's 4th down. And
that linebacking core for the Blue Devils in good pursuit that time as they chased Dillon down before he could get to the edge.
Logan Smith back in punt formation for the Pioneers. That's the tight end, Logan Smith. High snap, but he caught it, and, man, he hit it hard.
Hit a good punt, and that's going to take a big Pioneer bounce. Wood is going to watch it go. I thought he might have a good chance to go there and catch that thing, but it stayed inbounds down the sideline. Wood and Ambergy both just watch it bounce and watch it roll.
Yeah, it rolled dead on the 10-yard line, so that's a 50-yard punt with no return.
He hit it good, that's for sure. And now we're going to see Wood and that Blue Devil offense with a long way to go as they are all the way down at about the 10-yard line after that long punt off the foot of Smith. Ball actually going to be placed on the 5-yard line. Jamie?
Yeah, that's where it rolled dead. Yeah, we'll give
the official was standing at the 10 and then moved down to the 5.
I thought that ball rolled down to the 5. But he marked it there on the 10, so that was a 55-yard kick with no return. That really turns the field position around.
So here we go with the Blue Devils turn on offense after the Pioneers get a good punt from Smith. Blue Devils working deep in their own territory here. They're going to spread things out, Jamie. And Wood likes to spread them out, and he either keeps it or he's going to lay it up deep. Straight up the middle. Breaks free. And nobody's going to catch him here all the way to the end zone for the score.
That's Devin Phillips.
That's Devin Phillips, nearly untouched, all the way from the 5-yard line. Takes it 95 yards for the Blue Devil score. And they strike first. Nearly untouched, straight up the middle. I think somebody might have got one hand on him, Jamie, and I'm not sure what happened. You know, I said Wood likes to spread them out. You know, they'll spread them out and make you think Wood's going to keep it or try to lay up a deep pass, and that time he just sneaked the handoff right in there to Phillips.
One of the linebackers took a shot at him, but he missed him, so kind of like that John Battle game. They scored, you know, on the opening kickoff.
So now the Blue Devils rarely kick it unless they're up big. Wood's going to take it and hand it off. Didn't get the 2-point conversion. Didn't see who took the handoff that time, Jamie.
I don't know who had it. I didn't see his number.
Looked like it was Jack Ward with the handoff, and Ward tried to take it in, but fell about a yard short of the 2-point conversion. But the Blue Devils do strike first. 95-yard touchdown run from Devin Phillips.
Tried to run a little jet sweep on that extra point, but he cut it back inside, and nothing doing. The Pioneers tackled him.
It's a break for us after the score. 6-0 after the 95-yard run from Devin Phillips on 107.3. 95-yard touchdown run from Devin Phillips, and then the failed 2-point conversion on the handoff, kind of like a little sweep play to Jack Ward. They didn't get in for 2. Castlewood doesn't really have anybody that kicks for them, so they'll go for 2 if they score again tonight. Short kickoff from Wood, and that's going to land out of bounds. He did not hit that one good at all. They tried a little short kick, pop it up, and then try to get the coverage team down there. And oftentimes you see the ball go out of bounds, and that's the case here. It draws the flag for illegal procedure. So
I think
so now they're going to kick it again, I guess, right?
Yeah, I think you probably have an option of either taking the penalty or taking the ball on the. I think they place it on the 35-yard line.
Looks like Castlewood's going to have to kick again, so the Pioneers, Coach Henley must have elected to try to get some more yards here. Trusting his return men, I guess.
I think the ball will go to the 35 if they don't choose to kick it over, but Pioneers took the penalty, so Wood will kick off from the 35 now.
Castlewood with the lead at 6-0. Wood will tee it off, and we'll see if the Pioneers can get a return here as they move the ball.
Dillon back here on about the 23-yard line.
Back to the 35. You were right about that. And it's another line drive kick, and this one is going to go out of bounds as well. So 2 kickoffs, and both of them go out of bounds. So maybe Castlewood might think about kicking it straight this time and not toward the sideline.
I think they're going to have to kick off back to the 30-yard line, so the Pioneers ought to get really good field position out of this sequence.
If you're Castlewood here, I don't see why you just don't kick it straight down the field, you know.
I'd say he might do it this time.
So they'll move him back again. So now they're back on the 30-yard line. So we went to the 35, kicked it out of bounds again. Now we're at the 30. You got Walker Dillon back deep for the Pioneers. Dangerous man here, and he's going to have pretty good field position to work with, as now he's above the 20-yard line, standing on about the 21. As he awaits to kick, and we'll see how Wood elects to do it this time. Still got Wood lining up. This one is down the middle. Dillon comes up to catch it. He catches it at the 30-yard line, to the left, to the right, back to the left, up the middle. And he is finally, excuse me, Stanley was the one that caught the ball.
He took it up to the 50-yard line, so
midfield.
Much better field position than the 35, so a big 15-yard turnover for the Pioneers. They've got good field position. They need to move the ball. Actually, they're going to place it at the Castlewood 49-yard line. Pioneers come out in a straight eye this time. They're in a balanced line this time with one wide out to the left.
Handoff. Trying to get to the outside and cannot get there, as this is number 29.
That's Dillon.
That's Walker Dillon. Dillon trying to get to the outside but can't.
Picked up 2 yards on the carry down to the 47-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8 for the Pioneers.
Give him 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
9:13 left here, first quarter. 6-0 Castlewood leads it.
Again, one wide out towards us. Stutes turns and hands it off to Dillon. Dillon with room to work with this time. He's up near the marker as he bounces it off the right side of the line.
Gets it inside the 40-yard line, look like about the 38-yard line.
That'll move the chains, I'm sure.
It'll be very close. They might measure.
And it is a first down. They don't even call him out for the measurement. They're giving us the first down signal. So first down, Pioneers, after the good run from Dillon. He got good blocking that time.
Yeah, he had a nice hole there.
We've been a little critical of the Lebanon offensive line at times this year, but he got a good push that time.
Wide out to the right. Straight eye formation. That's to the fullback Holland. And
he's looking for space, and he's wrapped up by number 58 for the Blue Devils.
That was Stanley, I'm sorry.
And that's Gunner Jesse on the tackle.
Stanley was in that fullback spot that time and picks up maybe 2 yards. We'll call it 2nd down and 8. The ball's at the 30, right at the 36-yard line off Castlewood.
Gunner Jesse there on the tackle. This defensive line for the Blue Devils is pretty good. 2nd down and 8. Stutes under center. Got a wide out to the right. Handoff goes to Walker Dillon. Dillon trying to get away from an arm tackle, and then they finally wrap him up. He doesn't get much, just maybe back to the line of scrimmage. He's brought down on to play by number 2. That's David Minton.
He's probably going to lose a little bit on that one. We'll call it 3rd down and 9 for the Pioneers.
About 7:45 left to go in the first quarter. Pioneers with the ball in the Blue Devil territory, but they're down by 6 after Castlewood with the 95-yard touchdown run from Phillips. Wide out goes to the right. That's Chandler Boyd. Dillon the deepest back in the backfield. Stutes under center. He's going to roll towards Boyd. Look to pass it across the middle, and it's in the air and nearly picked off by Wood. That ball overthrown over the head of Boyd, and Boyd never saw it, but Wood did and had it in his hands.
Well, Boyd, I think, saw it. He hooked down there about the 22-yard line, but the ball way over his head. And Wood, I think that ball hit right in his arms. He just
probably should have been called.
Wasn't expecting it. But anyway, it looked like the Pioneers going to punt again, as they've been unable to get a drive going. Made one first down that time.
So here's Smith, the tight end, again back to punt. And you've got Josh Wood, the do-it-all man for the Blue Devils, standing at his own 5-yard line.
Good snap that time.
The kick is good as well. It's deep toward the corner of the end zone, and it's going to land in the end zone. That would have been an awesome kick had he been able to coffin corner it. So they'll bring him out with no return.
Castlewood will take it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. And see if the Pioneers defense can be a little more alert this time, Matt.
Yeah, they're going to have to tackle a little better and play a little better defense than they did that last time, or else Castlewood's going to burn them again. Castlewood's got a lot of speed out there on offense.
Yeah, they can move the ball. They've got a good offense.
They can throw it, too. You've got Ambergy closest to us and another wide out at the top. Wood's going to hand it off to the man coming across. That's Phillips, and Phillips is brought down. Good pursuit that time by this Pioneer defense. Phillips is brought down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a loss on the play for Castlewood. Loss of 3.
I don't think that was really a very good spot either. I think contact was made a little further back. But anyway, good defense for the Pioneers. It'll be 2nd down and 13. The ball resting at the Castlewood 17-yard line.
You may see the Blue Devils put it in the air right here.
Yeah, they send actually about 5 wide.
Now they've done this before, and you see Phillips lined up to the left of Wood. They do a little misdirection play, get everybody looking to the loaded side, and then, like you see it right there, hand off to Phillips coming across, and the Pioneers have obviously watched that play on film because they saw it coming that time. Yeah, it is a gain for Phillips, but not before he's brought down by a host of Pioneers.
Yeah, they tackled him at the 20, so it'll be 3rd and 10 for Castlewood.
Castlewood's had a lot of success out of that formation this year, though, Jamie.
Yeah, they sent 5 wide outs. The Pioneers had 4 defenders out there with them, but they ran it back here to the opposite side from where they were bunched, and Pioneers he did pick up about 7 yards.
It's still about 3rd down and 10, though.
Yeah.
Wood's going to roll to his left, look to throw it. He lays it up. He's looking for Ambergy. The pass is too long. Ambergy diving at the end, but can't come up with it. Good coverage on the play that time by number 6. That's Stutes.
Corey Stutes.
Yeah. So Stutes in coverage there on Ambergy, and the ball was placed well by Wood. Only his guy had a chance at it, and it was out there a little too far.
So it'll be 4th down and 10. Castlewood from the 20. And
that'll draw out Kyle Kennedy, the punter. Good athlete is Kyle Kennedy. We'll see him again in basketball season and baseball season.
Right. Plays everything. Pretty good player, too.
He's had good offensive games the last couple weeks. He scored a couple touchdowns for Castlewood. And he gets off a high punt here. Pretty good punt, but it's returnable for the Pioneers. This is Smith. And Smith on the return over to the middle of the field before he's brought down at around the 42, 43-yard line.
That was freshman Logan Smith there who fielded that ball.
Yeah, you have to keep me in check on that. They've got 2 of them. So
yeah, we've got 2. One's a tight end, the other one's a running back.
Built a little different.
I'll tell you that it's Christopher Logan Smith, and he's a good-looking freshman.
He is, yeah. He shows a lot of promise. He heads out to the right side wide here. Handoff goes to Dillon, and Dillon runs into his own man, and then jukes another, and somehow breaks free. He's heading toward the corner of the end zone and then pushed out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. What a run there from Dillon as he sidestepped his own man after running into him, then juked the Castlewood defender and broke it loose for a big gain. And it gets the Pioneers down inside the red zone at about the 5-yard line.
Down about the 5, so he picked up about 40 yards on that carry, a little more than 40.
That run there was all about the lateral quickness. You know, he pulled that juke out of nowhere.
They marked him at the 6, but that was a really good run by Dillon.
He's in the backfield again.
Pioneers in the power eye this time, and they give it to Dillon off tackle.
And he's brought down by Devin Phillips.
He gets down about the 4-yard line.
Phillips comes up and fills a hole. No gain there that time. Not much of one, maybe a yard. That's what they give him on the board. 2nd down and 4.
Picked up a couple there. So it's 2nd and goal for the Pioneers from the Castlewood 4-yard line.
Knocking on the door. And, of course, if they score here, they'll have a chance to take the lead.
4:55 left here in the opening quarter. Castlewood leads it 6-0. Power eye for the Pioneers. They give it to Corey Stutes, and he jukes inside and
looking for the end zone.
Run. That's about as good a 4-yard run as you'll ever see, man.
He worked for every bit of it, Jamie, but that's Cole Stutes.
Yeah.
Stutes to the right side. Took the handoff from his brother, and, he had to work for every bit of it, really used the full length of the field there. He ends up all the way over at the far corner of the end zone.
Well, that was quite a good run there.
Made a couple people miss and found the outside. That was an impressive run from Stutes, and he takes it in for the Pioneer score. So the Pioneers will have a chance to take the lead here.
Walker Dillon will try the extra point.
If they can make this extra point. Snap good, hold good, and the kick is up, nearly blocked it looked like, and it's good as well. So the Pioneers on top by 1. Touchdown run from Stutes, and then the extra point knocked through by Walker Dillon. 7-6 the score, back in just a moment on 107.3 WXLZ. In high school sports, he worked for every single yard, and then Walker Dillon with the extra point.
He was looking to cut off the right tackle, then ran wide and actually got out there wide, then he juked and cut back into the end zone. I thought that was just an excellent run.
So here's Smith. We'll tee it off. And you've got Wood and Ambergy back to receive. It's Ambergy who takes the kickoff, and he's trying to find room to work with. Not a very good job that time from the Blue Devils of setting him up a wall as he makes it out to around the 25-yard line, maybe a little farther than that before he's brought down. 27-yard line is where they mark it.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Castlewood. We've got 4:33 remaining here in the first quarter. Pioneers now lead it 7-6.
Got to be a feel-good moment there for the Pioneers taking the lead. It's been a rough couple weeks for these guys. Wood's going to spread them out here.
He's got 3 to the left, 3 to the right. He's in the shotgun.
He's rolling to his right. Now looking back to his left, looking for room to run. And switches direction here. Gives a stiff arm, and he is shoved out of bounds. And really, that was all Josh Wood trying to make something happen right there.
Well,
as he rolled to his right, back to the left. Made a couple guys missed, had nowhere to throw the ball, so then he just takes it himself for about 4 or 5.
Picked up a little yardage there. I believe he gained about 3, Matt. It'll be 2nd down and 7. The ball placed.
He was never actually taken down on the play, just shoved out of bounds as he was trying to give the defender the old stiff arm to get around it.
Ball sitting right on the 30-yard line. Different formation. They've got 2 wide outs to either side of the field this time.
Woodruff and Blevins closest to us, and they're going to go with the misdirection to Phillips. And Phillips is brought down. Lebanon doing a good job at sniffing out that play so far, Jamie. That's been a bright spot for the Pioneers defense. They're not falling for this spread them out and then run a little misdirection.
Phillips picked up a yard on the play. We'll call it 3rd down and 6. The ball at the Castlewood 31-yard line.
Another passing situation or quarterback run situation for the Blue Devils. Ambergy to the far side of the field, and you've got Woodruff over here near us along with Phillips.
3 wide outs this time, 2 right, 1 left. Man comes in motion.
Handoff goes to Blevins. Blevins looking for room to work with, and he's close to the marker.
He's tackled on about the 35-yard line. He's going to be a little short. He's going to come up a yard short, so it's going to be 4th and 1 from the 36-yard line off Castlewood.
Looked like Walker Dillon was there on the tackle.
They look like they might be going for it.
Yeah,
here.
I thought he got the marker, Jamie, at first, but not so, as they're a yard short, and they're going to look to go for it. This may be a hard count right here to see if the Pioneers will jump.
That's a possibility. Wood under center this time.
Ball on the 41-yard line, 1 yard needed for Castlewood. And Wood's going to keep it himself. push forward, and he's got enough for the first down. That was all the offensive line that time. You saw a couple guys leading the way.
Good push by the offensive line.
You saw a couple guys leading the way. It looked like Hunter Wright was in there leading the way, along with a bunch of others there on that O-line.
Got it up to the 40-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10.
There in 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. It's a 7-6 ball game. Lebanon on top. Castlewood with the football. Wood gets to play from the sideline, runs it in after getting that first down with the help of his offensive line. A lot of times those guys go unnoticed, but they were the sole reason that this drive is being extended.
They bunched forward to the left side, one wide to the right. High snap.
It's going to go to Ward, and Ward brought down behind the line. No blocking that time from what was left of the Castlewood offensive line, and he's brought down on to play by that's Seth Stanley, number 23, on the tackle for the Pioneers, and he poured through there unblocked.
Lost about 2 yards.
Yeah.
This guy's spotting the ball over here, Matt. My goodness. He should have lost about 6.
Yeah, that's a pretty generous spot. No, it's not. It's not. He should have about 4 more yards added on to that, but it's still going to be second down along 12 yards. So Castlewood still with an uphill battle to climb as they send 2 over to the right, 1 to the left, actually 3 to the right. So that's Phillips also out there. Dropping back to pass is Wood. Now he's going to keep it himself. Holding on to that football as the Pioneers were grabbing at it, and he's got a positive gain on the ground, but not as much room to work with as we're used to seeing with Josh Wood, and he's brought down by a couple different Pioneers after a gain of
picked up about 5.
5 yards, yeah. It's 3rd down and 7. 3rd and 7 for Castlewood after the run by Wood, and this might be a passing situation. You see Kyle Kennedy coming into the ball game. He's a threat down the field, Jamie. You see him coming in, and he's going to be wide over here towards us. So keep an eye on him.
There's 2 wide outs either side of the field. Wood in the shotgun.
He is going to pass. Slings it out. This is Ward, and Ward would have had some room to work with, but he loses his footing and falls down and punches the ground in frustration. So that would have been a big play for Castlewood, but he just lost his footing.
Picked up a couple yards. It's 4th down and 4 to go for Castlewood.
You know, he would have liked to stayed on his feet that time.
Yeah, he would have picked up at least a couple more yards. He was fairly well covered out there. But anyway, Wood back in punt formation. Won't swear they're going to punt, but he kicks it.
They are going to punt. It's in the air towards number 6. That's Stutz.
I guess that was Kennedy back there punting.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Stutz with no return. So Kennedy, yeah, he's the punter. And
so that ball goes out. Looks like on about the 27-yard line of the Pioneers.
That's not the worst thing there for the Blue Devils. You know, you still got them pretty deep back here, and you don't give up any yardage on the return from a dangerous guy in Stutz. So we'll see how the Blue Devil defense responds and see if the Pioneer offense can build on a scoring drive last time.
Pioneers will probably run 1 play here. There's only 11 seconds left here in the first quarter.
So here we go. They'll have 1 play before the end of the quarter.
They come out this time in a power eye.
Familiar formation for the Pioneers. Stutz with a
good hold here. Dillon cuts up.
Hand off to Dillon, and Dillon's going to be down at about the 35-yard line before being brought down. Good gain that time for the Pioneer running back.
Picks up 8, and that'll do it here for the first quarter, Matt.
At the end of 1, it's a good one, 7-6, 1-point ball game here at Tommy Bryan Stadium on homecoming night on 107.3 WXLZ.